On this day, October 15th, 2025, the conversation in defense circles turns once again to the Middle East. Iran has announced a significant development. It claims to have successfully upgraded its fleet of aging MiG-29 fighter jets. This aircraft, a product of the Soviet era, has long been a part of Iran's Air Force. Now, with new reported capabilities, it demands fresh analysis. The news is of particular importance to the United States, Israel. Both nations maintain a vigilant watch over Iran's military advancements. They are deeply invested in maintaining regional stability, ensuring the security of their own forces, protecting their interests. Therefore, any shift in Iran's military power, however small, warrants careful consideration and a measured response. We must approach this issue through the specific lens of threat and capability. This is a crucial distinction. A threat represents Iran's potential intent or what it might aspire to do with its military assets. Capability, on the other hand, refers to what its upgraded MiG-29 jets can genuinely accomplish in a real-world operational environment. A powerful threat is only credible when it is backed by demonstrable capability. A fighter jet that appears formidable on paper but is plagued by maintenance issues or technological gaps presents a diminished actual threat. Conversely, even a modest upgrade, if successfully integrated, can meaningfully increase a platform's capability and thus elevate the threat it poses to regional actors. This analysis matters because misjudging an adversary's capability can lead to two dangerous outcomes. Overestimating the threat can lead to unnecessary escalation and wasteful defense spending. Underestimating it can result in strategic surprise, leaving forces vulnerable and unprepared for a new reality. For the United States, with its extensive military presence in the region, and for Israel, with its proximity to Iran, understanding the true nature of this upgraded MiG-29 is not an academic exercise. It is a matter of immediate and practical security concern. This essay will dissect the claims surrounding Iran's MiG-29 upgrades. We will place these enhancements in the context of Iran's broader air power limitations. We will then compare the jet's potential performance against the cutting-edge air forces of the United States, Israel. By exploring likely operational scenarios, we will assess the tangible risks these jets could create. Finally, we will conclude with straightforward recommendations for how Washington, Jerusalem can effectively manage this evolving challenge. The goal is to provide a clear-eyed assessment, separating propaganda from practical military potential, and offering a path forward based on vigilance and preparedness rather than alarm. Okay, moving on. The Mikoyan MiG-29, known by its NATO reporting name Fulcrum, is a twin-engine fighter jet with a design that dates back to the 1970s Soviet Union. It was engineered as a formidable air superiority fighter, designed for speed and agility to engage and defeat enemy aircraft in high-stakes dogfights. Iran's relationship with the MiG-29 is complex. Some were acquired before the 1979 Islamic Revolution, with others arriving much later, including some flown over from Iraq during the 1991 Gulf War. For decades, these aircraft have formed a key, if aging, component of the Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force, but their effectiveness has been hampered by sanctions and the difficulty of acquiring spare parts and modern technology. Iran's recent announcements claim to have breathed new life into this old airframe. The centerpiece of the alleged upgrade is the integration of a new, domestically produced radar system. In simple terms, a radar is the jet's eyes, allowing it to detect other aircraft from a distance. A more powerful radar means a pilot can see a threat sooner and farther away, giving them a critical advantage in deciding when and how to engage. Iran also claims to have improved the jet's electronic warfare suite, which helps the plane jam enemy radars and defend against incoming missiles. Furthermore, they assert that the MiG-29 can now carry a new generation of Iranian-made air-to-air missiles and air-to-ground missiles, expanding its offensive reach. However, we must approach these claims with a healthy dose of professional skepticism. Military modernization is complex and expensive under strict sanctions. Integrating a new radar into an old aircraft is not plug and play. It requires extensive software and hardware modifications. Ensuring all systems work together seamlessly is a major engineering challenge. Real capability is proven not in press releases, but in rigorous testing, successful pilot training, and sustained operational readiness. If we assume the upgrades are at least partially successful, what do they mean in practical terms? A better radar could make the MiG-29 a more effective interceptor against older, non-stealth aircraft or drones. Longer-range missiles allow safer standoff, and improved EW could boost survivability. But the 70s airframe, thirsty engines, and non-stealth design remain significant constraints. To understand the impact of an upgraded MiG-29, one must view it within the broader context of the Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force. The IRIAF is a unique and challenging force to assess. It is largely a collection of aging aircraft acquired from disparate sources over many decades. It operates American-made fighters like the F-14 Tomcat and the F-4 Phantom II, relics from the pre-revolutionary era of the Shah. Alongside these are Russian and Chinese aircraft, the MiG-29, the Chengdu J-7. This creates a logistical nightmare. Each type requires its own spare parts, maintenance protocols, pilot training pipelines, made exponentially harder by decades of sanctions. Because of these sanctions, Iran has become resourceful, reverse engineering parts and attempting to manufacture its own weapons, with mixed results. Iran has kept its ancient fleet flying, but operational readiness and combat effectiveness are questionable. Airframes are old, metal is fatigued. The number fully mission-capable at any time is likely far lower than on paper. While Iran may possess hundreds on paper, the number it can deploy in a sustained conflict is a fraction. The IRIAF's primary role has therefore shifted. Lacking power projection and air dominance against modern foes, it has become a defensive force. Its main mission is to protect Iranian airspace, with fighters working inside an integrated air defense system coordinated with a vast network of surface-to-air missile batteries. The fighters act as the mobile component, intercepting threats that penetrate initial layers. The upgraded MiG-29 fits as a more capable point defense interceptor. Doctrine emphasizes short-range intercepts near home bases, scramble, engage, and return quickly, unlike U.S. or Israeli forces that prioritize offensive counter-air, deep strikes, and air superiority. Iran's air force is a shield, not a sword. The MiG-29 upgrades sharpen the tip of that shield, not forge a new offensive weapon. Well, that's the short of it. A direct comparison between Iran's upgraded MiG-29 and the frontline fighters of the United States and Israel reveals a technological gap that is less a gap than a chasm. The United States Air Force operates the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. These aircraft are designed to be nearly invisible to enemy radar, fundamentally changing the rules of air combat. An F-35 pilot can detect, track, and engage a MiG-29 long before the MiG-29 pilot is even aware. It is like a sniper facing an opponent who cannot see them. Israel also operates the F-35 Adir and maintains advanced fourth-generation fighters, F-15 IRAM and F-16 Isufa. While not stealthy, these jets are upgraded with Israeli electronics, radar systems, and precision-guided munitions, integrated into a sophisticated network-centric warfare system. They share data in real time with each other, command and control aircraft like the Gulfstream G550, and ground forces, creating a unified picture of the battlefield. The upgraded Iranian MiG-29 cannot compete in this arena. Even with a new radar, it remains a large target for F-35 or Israeli F-15I sensors. Lacking stealth, it is highly vulnerable to detection. Its new electronics are generations behind American and Israeli sensor fusion and data linking. In a one-on-one engagement in open airspace, The American or Israeli pilot holds decisive advantages in information, detection range, and weapons. However, the upgraded MiG-29 is not irrelevant. It can threaten less advanced aircraft, older fighters, transport planes, helicopters. It can force attackers to commit more escorts or specialized EW aircraft. As a spoiler, it raises the cost and risk of operations against Iran, even if it cannot win air superiority. To understand the practical implications, consider three plausible scenarios. The first, and most likely, air patrols and shows of force. Iran would fly defensive patrols along borders, particularly over the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. These missions assert sovereignty, test response times, and gather electronic intelligence on foreign naval vessels and aircraft. Upgraded sensors make this more effective. While not direct combat, tension rises and the risk of miscalculation grows. A second, more defensive scenario integrates MiG-29s directly with ground-based air defenses. Imagine U.S. or Israeli aircraft conducting a strike on a high-value target, such as a nuclear facility. As attackers navigate SAM layers, the IRIF scrambles MiG-29s, not to dogfight F-35s, but to harass. They can detect and report enemy locations to batteries, forcing evasive maneuvers and potentially diverting attackers. Here, the MiGs multiply disruption. In this capacity, they are a disruptive force multiplier for ground defenses. A third, more aggressive scenario: limited regional strikes near borders, airfields, command posts, or troop concentrations. Deep strikes against modern defenses are highly risky, but short-range attacks against less sophisticated adversaries, or a surprise first wave, could achieve localized, temporary effects. Across all scenarios, the upgraded MiG-29 is not war-winning. It achieves specific, limited objectives: signaling, defense, or localized offense to raise adversary costs. In patrols, it raises political temperature. In defense, it may degrade strikes without stopping them. In offense, it can cause damage, but would suffer high attrition against capable air defenses. The primary risks to the United States and Israel are not existential, but operational and strategic. The most immediate risk is miscalculation in the crowded Persian Gulf airspace. A more capable Iranian fighter on aggressive patrol could be read as a prelude to attack, prompting preemptive defensive action and rapid escalation. Improved sensors could threaten slower, vulnerable assets, complicating routine U.S. operations. A direct Iranian MiG-29 attack on Israel is unlikely due to distance and Israel's multi-layered defenses. More relevant is Iran sharing intelligence with proxies like Hezbollah or militias in Syria, providing better early warning and complicating Israeli operations. More capable Iranian aircraft in Syria would further complicate the operational environment for Israel. Mitigation begins with enhanced ISR. Use satellites, high-altitude drones, and electronic listening posts to verify actual capabilities. Determine how many jets are upgraded, how well systems perform, and pilot proficiency. Watch test flights, monitor emissions, analyze imagery. Adapt training and tactics. Simulate enemies with improved awareness but no stealth. Refine procedures for high-risk encounters with de-escalation protocols. For Israel, wargame operational freedom in Syria if air threats grow. Strengthen regional air defense networks and data sharing with Gulf partners. Maintain clear, open lines of communication, military-to-military deconfliction, and partner coordination to prevent incidents from spiraling. The upgraded MiG-29 is a new piece on an old chessboard. In conclusion, Iran's announcement warrants serious attention, but not undue alarm. If real, enhancements are incremental, improving interception, intelligence gathering, and disruption within Iran's defensive asymmetric doctrine. It does not change the regional balance, cannot stand against fifth-generation networks, and serves mainly as a spoiler and deterrent. For the United States and Israel, verify, prepare, strengthen networks, and keep communication lines open. Prudence and preparedness, not panic, are the keys to maintaining stability.